this video we're going to talk about the cylinder probing cycle. So I'm going to select cylinder. Cylinder differs from hole or circle pocket in that hole or circle pocket routine will find the center of the inside of a circle. A cylinder is going to find the center of an outside, or a boss, if you will. So I'm going to have to give it a few pieces of information. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to position the tool tip to an eyeballed center of the cylinder that I want to probe. So I want to get it as close to X and Y center as I can visually. And I'm going to bring the Z down very close to the top of the cylinder without touching. Then I'm going to put in the probing radius. What is the radius of this cylinder plus whatever extra that I want to add? So for example, if I'm going to probe a 1-inch cylinder, I'm going to eyeball to the center. I would not want to put a 1/2 inch for my probing radius, because if I'm off a little bit in my eyeballing of center, it's going to move a 1/2 inch and then begin to move down. And it's probably going to make contact with the outside of the cylinder. So I usually add 1 inch. So if I have a 1 inch that I'm probing, I'm going to assume I'm probing a 2 inch. That way my radius would be 1 inch in this case. We can move away from the part quite a bit of distance, and it will travel a long way searching for the part without getting any kind of out of travel or distance errors. So I usually, again, add an inch to the diameter that I'm probing, and then take the radius of that calculated value. From the location where I've hand wheeled, how far down, negative and Z, do I want the tool to drop? Remember, you have a 6 millimeter or so ruby on the end of that. You want to go at least far enough for that ruby to make contact. So you might want to drop down a 1/2 inch if you have the distance to do so. Obviously, if you have a shoulder or something, you can only go so far without making contact, but this is the distance it's going to drop down. Here are the 3 angular locations it's going to probe around the outside of this cylinder. It's going to start at 0 degrees or 3 o'clock, and then it's going to go from there 120 degrees, then 240 degrees going counterclockwise. If you have to change these, for example, you have a flat side on this boss and you can only touch it in 3 locations on the left side of it, obviously 0 is not going to work for you, so you can change that to any angle that will work. And once it finds the center of this probed cylinder, is that part 0? If so, the preset location will be 0, 0. If not, you put in the value here of what is the absolute location of that cylinder from what you want to be part 0, and then it will set part 0 where it needs to be. Once you've completed filling out all of these, we'll go up here and we'll select the start probing cycle, followed by the flashing start cycle.